Valle del Sol, a nonprofit organization that has been providing behavioral health, human service, and leadership development programs to build strong families, recently honored 11 Hispanic leaders at their annual Profiles of Success Hispanic Leadership Awards banquet. One of the honorees was Terri Leon. Terri was the recipient for the Raul Yzaguirre Community Leadership Award. Joining me is Terri Leon, Virginia G. Piper Charitable Trust Program Officer. Terri, thanks for joining us on Horizonte. And I should mention I'm on the Piper board, though that had nothing to do with your selection by Valle del Sol as a recipient of the Raul Yzaguirre Award. Before we talk about the award itself, let's talk a little bit about you. You've been on the show before. It was in connection with one of the events, actually, that was the basis for your getting the award. But give us some background.
About the event?
About you.
Well, I'm a fifth-generation Arizona. I've lived here most of my life. My father's from Arizona. My mom is from Yuma. And I'm real proud of my father's family. We can trace it back 5 generations. And my great-grandfather happened to be a Arizona territorial legislator in the 5th and the 6th Arizona legislature. And he also was appointed to the first Arizona School Board Association. So when he was in the legislature, the 2 committees that he was chair of was the Education Committee, which is a value that he's held all of his life, as well as Agricultural Committee, because he comes from a family of farm workers. And that's what they did farming. And so those were 2 important committees for him to chair because of how they impacted his life, and saw the value of education and how it was able to progress us. And that was a value that was passed on for the last 5 generations.
And passed on specifically to you as well.
Yeah, and also my father. Actually, my grandfather was a graduate in 1901 from the U of A. My father graduated from the U of A and then also got a master's degree from Our Lady of the Lake University in Texas, in San Antonio. And then all of my siblings, we all have advanced degrees. So it was a real strong value in our family. And
you put yours to work at one of the leading human services organizations in the Valley, and that's a Friendly House. Tell us about your experiences there.
Yeah, I served at Friendly House as the Chief Operating Officer. I was there for 10 years. And before that, I worked in public education, working in high schools with student retention and primarily Latino students. We reached out into the feeder schools to make sure that those students were going to be successful. And before that, I was in a mid-management position with Catholic Charities. So I've been in the human service field my entire career, as well as public education. And serving at Friendly House as the Chief Operating Officer took me to a new level in my ability to really serve the community, working with the staff and working with the community to make sure that we were meeting the needs that needed to be met.
And that included becoming involved in the litigation involving SB 1070.
Right. During my tenure with Friendly House became the lead plaintiff in the Senate Bill 1070 to fight against the the alleged civil rights violations, and serving the community for 92 years at that time. There was no other organization, I believe, in the community that was as well positioned to take the lead.
Well, and part of Friendly House history is serving immigrants.
Right. It was originally established as part of the Settlement House movement in 1920, which whole purpose was to welcome immigrants into the country, help them with the adjustment process through teaching English, helping them find jobs, and also working on their immigration paperwork. And the organization continues to do that today. So it seemed to me very appropriate that Friendly House serve as the lead plaintiff in that lawsuit.
And it was all immigrants. It wasn't originally focused on Hispanics.
No, it was immigrants from all over the world.
And so what was the nature of your involvement in the litigation, you personally as a representative of Friendly House?
Well, during that time, in 2010, the organization was going through a period of transition. The former CEO, Yzaguirre, had retired, and I was serving as the interim CEO. And at that time is when everything was happening. The governor had signed the bill into law, and the organization challenged, along with many organizations, challenged the civil rights, stating it was a violation of civil rights. So it was challenged in the court, and at that time, serving as the interim leader, my role was to stand up and speak out on behalf of the immigrants whose rights were being violated. And I took that really seriously, Jose, because we had been serving the community for 92 years. We really earned the trust of our clients that we served, and I really felt that we couldn't let them down at this time when it was so critical.
And initially, the lawsuit was successful, got an injunction. Ironically, this week, the injunction's been dissolved,
right.
and enforcement, at least of one critical part of the legislation, will go forward. How do you feel about that?
Well, it's unfortunate. I think it puts more pressure now on us as a community to really watch carefully what's happening and to document carefully and to build a case so that if these violations do occur, which I believe they will, that we are prepared to adequately defend them in the courts.
Now, it's your years of service to the Hispanic community that was the basis for your receipt of this award, and in particular your involvement in the SB 1070 litigation. Let's talk a little bit about the award itself. You got the Raul Yzaguirre Award. Tell us about Raul a little bit, and then let's talk about the basis for you getting the award.
Raul is one of the greatest civil rights leaders of our time, I believe. He was the founder of National Council of La Raza, which is a national civil rights organization, and really focused on Latino rights and issues that impacted the community. He retired, and when he retired, he came to Arizona and actually served here at Arizona State University as part of the Raul Yzaguirre Community Development and Civil Rights Center. And that center really focuses on ensuring that building a bridge between the relationship with the university and the Latino community. And so they focus on programs that would recruit Latino students, retain students, and one of their top-notch programs is the American Dream Academy, and really worked with students, reached out to students, brought them to the university, got them exposed to the university in a way that probably they never would otherwise.
And so we've got about a minute left in the show. Tell us about what it meant to you to receive this award.
Well, you know, Raul's a great civil rights leader, and the nominator, the young lady that nominated me for this position, Leticia de la Vara, she was Raul's personal assistant for many years when he worked here at the university, and also did work for him when he was with NCLR. So to be nominated by somebody who worked so closely with him, to me that was a real honor. So I really appreciate Leticia's vote of confidence, but Raul was a great leader, and certainly don't feel like I even come close to filling his shoes, but it was just a real honor in my role at Friendly House, because I feel as an organization they did fill those shoes, and I was very proud to be a part of that.
Well, and we want to give our congratulations to you for getting the award, and thank you for joining us on Horizonte tonight. Terri Leon, Virginia G. Piper Charitable Trust. That's our show for this Thursday night. From all of us here at Horizonte, I'm Jose Cardenas. Have a good evening.